Hi, welcome back. So, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depends on your time zone. Today is our 99th day. We are continuing the blockchain technologies, the opportunities, and today, especially, we are going to discuss about the Mac opportunities. I believe all of you received the mail, and all of you received the yesterday's notes as well, separate notes with an offer details. And you also got a separate form to fill. Everybody is reaching out and saying that the website is not updated, because it's not for a public offer. It's exclusively the people who attended yesterday and today that's offer. Okay, that's the reason you'll not be able to find the exciting offers which we extended yesterday on a website. It is a separate email sent to you. In case, if you have not received the email, please make sure that is contact your mentors. They'll help you to get it. Okay, so please go through. And today, of course, another detailed session. Thank you so much for all of your feedback and the questions and input I have been sending. So we try to add that is into the system, to the presentation today. We will take it forward. Anyway, today, so I'm really, we started, so July 1st and 31st October, we are renting our 100 days. We are looking for to have an amazing sessions after that called the championship. So everybody is focused, the mentors and mentees. Even the new people are joining the company, also looking forward to our championship. So one of the things which we added is also as a blockchain and the Mac and mining activities and monetizing the website traffic and converting to a mining activities, which is somewhat relatively new, not many people experienced. So that's what exactly we are going to do. So today and yesterday, that was a primary focus, and today we continue discussing about that. In addition to that, the opportunities yesterday, which we discussed about it. So together, you and I starting a business. This is all the other business ideas and opportunities and strategies we shared earlier. We never did that. Today, in fact, yesterday itself, I proposed that is together we all can start a together business, and with a smart contract as a company and with an offices and completely and globally. We will run a business that way. So that's the offer I give you an invitation I give you yesterday. And based on that, today we'll have a detailed discussion. I believe all of you will have more ideas about it. And based on that, we can have a kind of a meeting to you to be part of something called MAC, okay, Mining and Affiliate Community. That's what exactly we're going to do. Okay. So today, without much delay, actually, we go to the topic. So meanwhile, all of you get settled in. I'll just connect you to the PowerPoint. Okay, I think so. All my settings are okay. I think the sound is okay, and no other settings changed. Yeah, all of you okay? Some sound is an issue. Please check it. So please check it. Okay. So I'll just connect to this usual one. 1 second. Okay. So I think it's we set actually. I think I'm not sure what is the issue. If you have a sound, please check it. I think most of you don't have it, so it may not be an issue. And link is perfectly working. I think others contact the mentors. Please help them to do it. Okay. So once again, I officially welcome all of you today, the day 99th, and of our 100 Days of Digital Mastery Challenge, October 29th, Thursday. I'm live from Doha, Qatar at 6 p.m. In the evening. So yesterday we have been discussing about the blockchain, the basics of blockchain, and we know that is when you discuss about the internet, past and present and future. We know the future of the internet is basically blockchain. Everybody is moving towards blockchain. One of the feedback, actually, one of the suggestions many people asked me to talk about the practical application happening about the blockchain. Yesterday itself, I mentioned a couple of things, but today I'll elaborate. Yesterday, I went through just telling an example. Today, we'll go through even how the banking is changing to blockchain. Also, we'll discuss it in detail today. Okay. So as you know, that is, so blockchain is going to revolutionize, not just change the world. It's going to revolutionize the world. Okay, so all of you agree with that yesterday when we discussed about the kinds of a trust part. Very good. Okay, so when we look at the why it is going to revolutionize the power of the technology, and it's it's really unprecedented. It's never happened in the history. This kind of a revolution. This is a fantastic things happening around us. Now we also discussed about how the blockchain work. So even a money transaction or any kinds of transactions is completely transparent, and how do you say it is? We don't want any third party for all. I'll show you a practical application happening, or even a blank. All the bank in the world already moved to a blockchain, even though people say that is crypto is a threat to the bank in a way, yes, but they adopted the bank bank adopted immediately the the blockchain technology, like a Walmart accepted B2B and the B2C segment same way. So a Walmart is a retail outlet, but they actually went and started investing and buying out the e-commerce portal, like a Flipkart, they bought it. So in US, there are so many other infrastructure set up. So they are going to use it now. It's very well. Okay. And we also discussed about smart contract. And many people ask me what exactly smart contract. Again, smart contract is a self-executable contract, which is a machines or the blockchain or Ethereum blockchain network is actually take a decision based on the contract what we agreed. When we say the MAC, the organization which we said will work on across the globe, hundreds and thousands of employees and stakeholders work together, all our appointment letters, everything will work on a smart contract based. There's no dispute arises. Yesterday I mentioned examples of the partners, because I did not use an employee's example because I asked you to become partner of this company. And you become a stakeholder of the company, CEO of the company, COO of the company, vice president of the company, GM of the company. So that becoming a partner. So all of you will have a smart contract where it's a self-executable. So this is a future that is exactly we discussed about it. Now, I've started with an example before we go to the other complication part. Especially, I took an examples of the MAC itself. So then you'll understand the importance of the thing part. So yesterday I mentioned one or two slides, but please look into this in detail about it. So when yesterday I talked about KYC, like, well, you know what is a KYC? So wherever you go, you give out your identity, maybe a passport copy, your tax copy, your ID cards, or any other, maybe some countries in Aadhaar card, some countries in the voter's ID card, some other ID, you KYC, you share with the people, and you don't know it's a misuse or not, number one. Number two, every organizations, or even a banks, even a universities, they basically what they do, they verify everybody's KYC, right? When you go and open a bank account, they will verify this. A new employee joining the organization, they verify about the certificates and address proof and ID proof and where they reside and everything. So all the things is basically through a third party, right? So they go and check in various organizations. Usually an employee joining a new organization, the HR department spend approximately $200 to verification purpose this is. Now, when you go for a loans or when you open a bank account or when anything to have a credit cards or a debit card, a lot of verification process happens. And that is also costing time and energy, and is also as a financial resources. So this is basically one of the best example of the solution is a Belrium KYC blockchain, where your KYC is automatically verified through a blockchain network, and people can easily do, and the certificate, they can KYC, they can actually verify the ID card, government issued ID cards, or they can also verify the certificates and everything. So whichever the KYC comes under any kinds of documents, any kind of identity, any kinds of certificates, will be able to verify. So it's kind of a private and so yesterday we discussed about the private and public blockchain. Here is a kind of a hybrid blockchain. It is basically public, and whenever you wanted to access something, when you want to do a private, you can also have private. So it's a completely a decentralized KYC approach. Okay. So it is actually basically it's a very fast. Second one is the cost is almost reduced to 80%. Why 20% is left out? Because the company provides the infrastructure. In this case, it's a KYC of the Belrium. So person to verify. Now, for example, $200 you're spending for HR verification now for your certificates, your government authentication, your police clearance, on all the things which you, so normally in HR departments, usually in the world, and approximately in average, depends on the country, it changes. It's a $200 average change. They do their investment and the person will be looking after. This will be reduced to around $20. This $20 in terms of a crypto, they'll pay the money and verify on it. They pay the money they need to have Belrium to verify. So here what happens is this, now the user, to verifying this and the person's certificate, they verified they are safe. Both are very clear, and cost is reduced, and plus it's very fast. So this is one practical application. It is not a conceptual one, it's already exists. Now, I think some of you know that is, I was silent on many of the certificates. All of you complete this championship, your certificate will be issued on a blockchain. That's I told you earlier itself. You get, many people ask me about a certificate, I say, I'll give you blockchain certificate. So all of you, those who are completing the championship, you will get the certificates of the participation, certificate of the course, and certificate of achievements and recognition you will be practically receiving through on a blockchain. Maybe some of you first time will be receiving a blockchain-based ID and certificates. So exactly we are talking about. Then we also have something called decentralized app. This is actually an application, so all of you can use through an application can verify. It's a mobile application like a mobile MAP, right? We call it as an app, right? You download the app, we say Android app or iOS app. Like this, you'll have an iOS and Android app, but it's a decentralized app with an ecosystem. This is a new thing. Like we were not 10 years ago, we were not aware about, or maybe 12, 13 years ago, we don't know what 2007, 6, and 7, we never knew what called mobile applications. Today we know it's a part of our life. Same way now we are moving to the DApp. Okay, so even now the COVID-19, which I'm going to discuss about, this is also part of the kind of a DApp. So, so this is actually one of the practical application example of a blockchain application. So how it works is like an insurance companies, various KYC process, or especially in HR onboarding process, payment and remittance. So for example, when you go to various places to receive the money or pay the money, both ends they will ask a KYC verification. Also, so maybe various levels, educational institute, healthcare facility, you can have this verification tools. Okay, so so basically there are a few technical stuff. It's not very important, but you understand the very advanced level. On Ethereum blockchain, you can actually Google it and understand about Ethereum blockchain, more about it. And on a Ethereum blockchain, it is built on. Okay, so you can also visit a website called beltrium.com. And you can understand more about the project which you are talking about. Completely, you can have a complete understanding from the website itself. Now, when you look at it, is the price of the market. When you look at it as the industry, which is now we look into the market today, it's actually huge. It's a billions of dollars industry will be catering to that. And in that, so now as yesterday I showed you an example of. These price predictions. So projections, like in a Bitcoin price. Yesterday, many people asked me why I'm not recommending. I'm not a good person on investment part to do. I'll discuss with you that when I talk to you because now I'm not an investment advisor. You might have seen I never advising on investment aspect. I'm advising you to an entrepreneurship. Okay, so I'm not a good at investment. So that's the reason I'm not suggested. I don't suggest even anything on investment advice is not part of a digital mastery program. Okay, so that I'll discuss with you a bit later on that why we should take that stand. I'm not even encouraging you to trade because it's a trading include a lot of risk part. I'm encouraging you to be part of the ecosystem and you become a miner and you can be part of a mining part. That's completely different on it. Okay. Now, why to invest in a Beltrium and why now? Another reason I'll tell you, various application. First, this was not there around 3 months ago. Now this has come out. The Beltrium introduced India's first. Actually, why India's first? Because that's a place we are getting down the vaccination. So more number of vaccine comes, so more number of other places can also go. And when I say India's first, because there are different countries already have the mobile app based or a tap based vaccination. So India's, of course, the Beltrium is the first. And it does not mean it's only limited to India, different part of the world. The same application can be used because it's expected to around 25 to 30% of the global market with the COVID vaccination will be from Indian companies. So that's one of the things which is actually really very, very interesting and lucrative for us to look into this one. So this is basically this DApp application, this mobile app, this blockchain application. What do they do? Basically deal with the clinical records and vaccination details. That's the main thing to do. So initial stage will be covering around 500 clinics, which I mentioned to you yesterday. So all the clinics who do a vaccination, they will issue, like all of you know, maybe Arogya Setu is in India, ITRA is in Qatar, like a various application you have, some kind of a simple application which only record that you have an exposure or not. That's the accuracy is always an issue with that. But here is a vaccination with a DApp. When you vaccinate it, there is a lot of issues happening on a fake certificate and fake testing as well. And no one want to take a risk. That's exactly the power of the blockchain here. So on internet based, you can have a fake, right? But a blockchain, you cannot have you cannot fake it. because it's already immutable. That we discussed yesterday. So it's a decentralized and immutable. So because of that, these Beltrium prices actually go up. Now, why? Because the moment you do a vaccination to operate this one, the clinic need to buy a Beltrium, even to the person who uses the tab, which also will use a bell. So it's through a QR code we can do that, and privacy is taken care, through the blockchain. And the clinics and the patient will include that, and they don't want any physical paper to do everything on a blockchain network. Everything on a tab is connected there, and it's an amazing projects to do. Now, another important part is the same application. So earlier, now we were thinking about the issues is the clinic part, as you're forced to do now, because if you want to travel state to state or country to country, you need to have this one. Another thing which I mentioned to you yesterday, almost same application, slightly different. Now, earlier where we go, we never leave our identity there. Very few places we have to do, like government offices, defense location, etc. But today, because of the pandemic and COVID-19, you need to show your right. You need to be masked. You need to show your address, and sometimes people also take your name from the mobile applications which you are carrying. So people are hesitant to do so. If I talk you there around 6 months ago, you would not have accepted this one. Now you accept it. Why? Because you are already habituated. When you go to salon, when you go to shopping mall, when you go to movies, when you go to the hospitals, you are showing your identity and doing it. Now with these, visitors record based on that people who are visiting your places, the data, as you know, the data is the fuel of the world now. Like how the oil is for Saudi Arabia, data is going for the world now. So based on the data you have, like a WhatsApp is surviving or not surviving, just making millions of dollars, and all the people are deriving everything. So these data the organization can have. So this is yesterday discussed in detail. So I request all of you to go and watch again if you wanted to have more details about it. Okay. Now, we come to we can run in a decentralized payment network, which was a perfect example is a Bitcoin. But all of you know that is we have thousands and thousands of new cryptos coming up. We have 3,000, and the active market is around 35,000 real cryptocurrencies are there in the market. Around 500 of them doing a fantastic thing. And people are selling around 100 plus companies will be a Fortune 500 companies, like maybe they'll be $1 billion companies. So to level of reaching out the 100 is the goal. So that's the goal we should be working on it. Now, just to give you the people who are new to the crypto, this is straight tell you an example, a crypto value is connected to the gold, the demand and supply. And this is what exactly I shown yesterday. So many people ask me why, when I said in July, why I did not advise. That's exactly the answer I said. It's investment advice. So if I'm not an investment advisor, right? I'm promoting entrepreneurship. I'm asking you to start a business. So investment is not my, but even I myself did a wrong investment. Now many of the people know like the same thing. Where I used to say to my friends, exactly the same period, 2012, 2013 and 14 period. I put our money in a real estate. So even I want to liquidate that one, that properties in India, demonetization happened. Then I thought, okay, let it settle down. That Nipah happened. Then after that, flood happened. After that, now Corona happened. It's even now not able to liquidate. And not only that, the same money I would have invested approximately around, think about it, around $13 is the price which I was invested, would have gone this one. Even July month, all of us would have invested in that money with the Bitcoin would have been $13,000 now. You can see in the 3 months time, July, when exactly the same slide I'm using July, when I explained to you about the first time about the Bitcoin, so $10,000, it's become $13,000. So now if you ask me, my belief is not an advice, ask my understanding, my interactions with the experts, and the people which I go through the training, with the people I learned, I go through my mentors, all of them believe the Bitcoin, the price will be not less than 1 million before 2030. So that means what you're saying, $13,000 will be over $1 million. Majority, including myself, I believe by 2025, it will be over $100,000. No doubt about it. Okay, so you can, you can actually study about it. So it's not investment advice. which is as you study and you'll understand. It's a very simple logic, demand and supply. And if you understand the technology and the power of technologies and the usage and how it is growing, you will also understand it. Now this is going to stay. Now it is ups and downs because of bubbles, etc. That is the people not understood the product. People just bought it another community commodity that is just okay. But Bitcoin is more about you need to understand the usage how they're working on it. So when you look at it this way, the cryptocurrencies journey, when you look at it, there are 30,000 cryptos and around 3,000 plus is listed cryptos. And I told you around 500 companies is doing a phenomenal job. So all these companies, when you look at it is, and even you evaluate the 3,001. Now there are different that depends upon the people. Like in the Belgium, we have a calculation of one block is formed in 15 seconds, and every block to come with a 5 bell, there's a mining requirement. So basically, these mining requirement, that's exactly that today everybody asks about to understanding more about what exactly they do mining. So mining is basically competing each other to verify the transaction, and they're solving an energy intensive mathematical problem in terms of a POW. PO is slightly different, it works, but it's easy for you to understand online when you go. Most of the people talk about POW model. Okay. Now, basically, people will compete each other and do. But in the POS system, it's not competing each other. You're getting a vote. So other one is you compete with the hardware and processor speed. That's the reason you need a large farms and large GPU. We are not competing each other. Here we are basically forming together as a voting right. So whoever having a voting right, for example, in the Belgium case, you have a 121 bell, you can vote. So your vote matters. So the people who are having a bell across the globe, they decide which are the people are going to be miners. So for example, in the Belgium case, we have over 101, total 101 miners are there. So who will be these miners? So 121 Belgium you will vote. And if you select me as one of the miners, I have the right to mine. So out of the entire thing, 100 people mine. So not the competition, some cases, competition in the case of POW, which is Bitcoins, etc. using. We use something called Ethereum blockchain, which is a POS system, which is not competing each other. Okay, so it is a different process altogether. So some people compete each other, some people forming together as a pool and work together. So all the things, every minute this getting updated, and each and every transaction is verified and adding the block. When you adding the block, you getting rewarded. With your computers, if you do, the computation power is a matter there. And the transaction also, to make it as transaction is valid or not valid, they validate the transaction as well. Okay. Now, above 50, this POW, that's you might have seen. I would recommend you to go to something called 51% attack. That's one of the threat of a POW. You can see the people agree with the transaction part. Okay. Now, there is a different way of how things work. Actually, I would like you to spend the time. It's not complicated. You spend some time, you'll understand. It's very simple. If you really understand how the entire process works, and you really enjoy understanding about crypto part. I believe yesterday the Wikipedia example, which I told you about, I believe all of you understood how it is called the decentralization. Also, I showed the transaction ledger verification with an example of a PayPal. Hope you understood that way. So that is enough for understanding of the technology, how it works. It does not matter how it works. For example, when you use a Google, you're not about to go Google algorithm unless you are a part of SEO, right? So it is good to learn on SEO because you wanted to rank your Google first page on the website. So then you should know about how the Google algorithm works. Same way, it's not very important when you start using a product to a complete understanding. Only you should know when you search, you get a result. So with this, when you look at the screen, live, you can see, you go to blockchain.info, you can see complete information, what is happening in live. So which I put a screenshot here, you can see that all the live transactions happening, and it's keep moving it is, okay. So blockchain is really a distributed ledger and a shared ledger. So multiple parties are using it and it's really allow multiple parties to collaborate without having a trust each other. Means if you don't know, if we don't know trust each other, we depend on a bank. Because you give me a check, It's a check of a bank. If you give me a currency, it belongs to a central bank or a country. So, but here not record that. Without that, you can actually do this as part. And when you look at this power of technology, the three things is very important here. So one is a transparency. No one can manipulate, and everybody knows what is happening there. Second one is the authenticity of the authentication happened. So third party authentic is going to make sure that is a verification process happened through a machine or a blockchain that is happening. So you are not duped, you're not scammed, you're not having any fake transaction. You don't have a bouncing off the check issue, nothing. Then it's also audited automatically. So as an organization, as a company, auditing is a long process. And if you use a blockchain-based technology, automatically auditing is done. So on a daily basis, auditing is done. Okay. So this is such a great one. I don't know you able to visualize or able to understand these three things. When you look at it, I would like you to Google it and understand it as power of or the benefit of the blockchain transparency system, or look at the blockchain authentication methods, or audit, check how the financial institutions or companies and organizations or enterprises, how they audited part. So this is such a great technology here. So this is a fantastic tool for us to do a business. And so many problems in the world can solve here. For example, how are we going to solve these issues? And how we use this technology to solve the issues? Now look at the banking world. Now today, banking world is the first the segment itself. They are the first time they adopted the blockchain. You can see every bank is going to be a blockchain banking. Now, especially the first branch or a first division they're going to use a blockchain is an international money transfer. And it's connecting to corresponding bank. So those who are not from the banking, I might use an example of, I'll tell you little detail. But those who know banking, please apologize, because I'm looking for some people may not be knowing how the transaction happening. So basically, you think about the people across the globe. So if somebody, maybe a Filipino mother working in Qatar or in Saudi Arabia or in UAE and sending money to Philippines. And when you look at when they transfer the money, usually there's something called currency exchange, and there is a transaction charges and 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7 days delay. So it is sometime when the bank is making money, the exchange they're making money. In addition to that, they're also taking time for a person to receive that. And it's a very slow process. So now I'm not saying bank is intentionally doing it, is bank is taking time because she is transferring from Ahli Bank of Qatar, and Philippine bank may not be knowing which is this bank is all about it. Now Ahli Bank also don't know Philippines is bank, and there is a corresponding bank connect to another bank, and they will connect to another bank, that bank to connect to another bank. So that's where the transaction happening. So this is taking a very long time. So here is basically the bank come to the blockchain, and they don't want a corresponding bank. They directly connect to the bank in the Philippines and can transfer money to there. So instead of you're waiting 1 day, 2 days, you get in money in 5 minutes, in less than 5 minutes. Okay. So these problems are governments or the banks are going to solve across the globe. Hundreds and thousands of this will happen now. So they can simply log in each other and connect each other and transfer each other. So within no time, the money goes and comes in. So this is a really revolutionary in terms of sending money abroad and receiving money, and the exchange rates and other things is going to have a different value here. Okay. So this is even the error happens, usually don't come. And that is average you lose. I don't know how you really calculated when you're sending a money, approximately around 5 to 8% of the money, you actually lose it. So which means in a 2 years, somebody works in a Middle East and sending money to Philippines, and every month they're sending the money their home. They basically 1 month they work for a bank without getting anything, right? So that kind of money they lose. So I don't know you really calculated this way or not. So these international wire transfers is going to change. So this is one way of a practical application of a blockchain we can have. Okay. Now, money get there with much faster, and the bank sending money and receiving money is through a good partnership. So these are the things a blockchain can really help. And other key areas are syndicated loans. So now you know that loans very risky for banks to provide, And even the person to take is a risky part. They really want to know those, so they can have a syndicated down. And we can also have peer-to-peer loans. So if I wanted to help someone to start a startup company with a less than maybe a dinner price of Qatar, maybe enough for a housewife to start a website and working in maybe some part of Africa. So if I wanted to do a kind of an investment that way, now I don't know the person, right? And how do I partner with them? So through a smart contract, a peer-to-peer loans we can do, and do fantastic things. And so I would like you to check the peer-to-peer loans, and you can actually fix the terms. You don't want interest, instead you want a profit percentage, and so you can have that one as well. Now, you know the Australian Stock Exchange, and they're going to be the first, according to they'll be the first one to be completely on a blockchain. They're already partially doing now. So like, you remember that 10, 20 years ago, the complete stock exchange, majority of the stock exchange went to online. Today, with a paper, like 20 years ago, when you go to various, when you go to NASDAQ or Wall Street or you go to Bombay Stock Exchange, everywhere people are trading with the papers. No more, you cannot trade with the papers. Similarly, they moved from paper to online, now online to blockchain. So that's a change we are going to do now. That's a change we are going to witness now. So that's a reason other areas are also going to do fantastic things. Like I mentioned yesterday, even the shoe you're wearing tomorrow, you will be looking at the blockchain and doing it. And you will check it as who manufactured, the brand, where, and the materials used and transported, manufacturing date, material sourcing date, employees worked on, transportation, logistic company, insurance, and they reached a place, how many days did they stopped here, and expiring, everything. It's a very, to be shown to the people, and people can have do that one. Now, you can also have another area of distributed asset trading. So now you can actually buy just one hotel room and sell it like that's another thing. Now, if there's another thing I wanted to tell you. This, and in the Mac, we are going to use this application. So investment company, so now I'm inviting you to be a part of a Mac. So we will do that. So I'm saying, a lot of 500, around 300 to 500 people will be part of a MAC as an employee, come a stakeholder. Okay. So across the globe, we work, and this authentication process will be doing to this one. And you don't have to submit any checks or nothing. So everything, the company can grow, more and more investments come, everything on a peer-to-peer will happen. So if you don't want a lot of paper, even in the now initial incorporation of the company, how much longer it is taking, because paperwork is a huge work. That's what exactly we eradicate. We work on a smart contract, and we work on the base on. So private asset market we can do, and it's a lot of transaction and investment we can do, and we don't want it audited, automatically it'll be audited. So the good thing is you don't record an auditor. You don't, because automatically audit is done on every transaction. So you have a completely audited one as a part of technology part. Okay. Now blockchain is going to be an infrastructure in the really in the background, and the various smart contracts with the various people are doing in a fantastic way, and smart contracts become very, very important for even to the various segment to people to GM and other things to do that one. Okay. Now when you look at it, the many of the people they have an interesting story, and they didn't get the exact amount because the manager duping. That's a very common issue with an employee is actually duping the employers. So these are the things can be addressed with the blockchain part. Okay, so blockchain is and smart contract, the way we work and transact and take our responsibilities and perform our responsibilities and duties is going to change through blockchain. I'm not talking about around 2030, 40. I'm talking 2022, 23. In a couple of years from now, we'll move in that one. Okay. Now, so basically, we have a trust. So we, instead of trusting just a simple employee, we can have a complete transparency. This one. So in a way, when you look at it as the existing managers, we will not have it as an entrepreneurs, as a company. You don't want a lot many employees which is manipulate and which will come back to you and fight with you, and which they will not responsible for, they don't act and they're not showing accountability. They don't as entrepreneurs, what I'm talking about. So they only talk about their rights. They don't talk about the responsibilities, the duties. They don't work 8 hours. They don't come into the office. They will not show, they'll not, but they claim everything. So you will end up with, you will now position to do that one. So that exactly an entrepreneur is getting advantage. The moment you go for a smart contract, no one can manipulate, no one can cheat, no one can get away with the responsibilities. You are there, you are there. Some people say, sir, I did it. That having listening to a lot of stories. So many employees come back to you and tell you the stories, especially when I head the sales team. So what happened? Or maybe I say responsibility to the managers, okay, this is 3 months, we should achieve this one. And we trust the employees to do that one. And we believe that 8 hours they're working, that across the globe, the productivity, the maximum my company achieves is 6 hours. The highest the record is a Google, 6 hours, 30 minutes. That's the highest in the world, which 8 hours duty, 1 hour, anyway, every company loses it. That's the highest in the world. So think about a company, especially the small and medium companies, you will lose a lot of resources of you through the employees because no accountability, they don't follow responsibility. That exactly blockchain help us through a smart contract. In very recent future, there will not be any appointment letter, physical appointment letter. It will be a smart contract to everyone because the employers is the first time, they are the people who is going to implement this. They were the first one to introduce the card system, CCTV camera, putting in the employees on a radar, because they know that is the human tendency. So this is exactly we can say bye-bye to the managerial system. We go to the blockchain, everybody work on a smart contract. This is a drastic change we are going to do. Same way as I mentioned yesterday, the voting. So the lot of corrupt government like India, there are a lot of voting issues happening, and so that is also can be taken care of the blockchain part. I think you listen to all the previous talks. I always take an example. I'm hopeful the drastic change because the blockchain technology comes in, the democratic process of voting will change due to the blockchain. Otherwise, you will become helpless on it, right? So the government itself is a control an election. That is, if it is democratic countries, whether it's the US or whether it is India, all the places the same. So people lost the trust on a voting system, and even you go to the court, the same administration again do it. So that system is also going to change due to the blockchain part. So my point here is, everything is going to change. Even a voting process become very legitimate. No one can manipulate. People knows that whose vote is quasi-vote. And government has to adapt to this. There's no other option they'll have. Okay, because the people demand on it. Okay. So all these things, we are talking about a common word, all these things, the trust part. So, all the things when you look at it is, what is integrating here is a trust. So blockchain bring that trust to God. So when you look at, if you have the trust, you can do anything, right? So we have $1 million trust. We can trust each other through a transaction. We don't want bank. If we can trust each other. We don't want auditor. We can trust each other. To go to the court, we don't need a lawyer. So even want to buy and sell with you, to do a business with you, we don't want a third party there. If you wanted a taxi, you don't want a Uber there. So we can have everything without a third party. This is if you are able to understand, if you are able to visualize, or if you're interested to learn more about, learn and understand the power of technology. Like for example, 20 years ago, if you listening first time about internet, how you understand and you visualize and understand. That's the people who took that initiative. Even the negativity, like a .com burst happened. So 2000, all of you know. So that's the time, and from the ashes of that, all the companies today you see, whether Amazon or eBay, they are the people actually, they stood there that time as well. So a lot of uncertainty people talk about, but the people who are staying back, they are going to make a fortune. We want to be that. The internet buzz, actually, we really did not get it. So now we want to be part of it. That's my opinion talking about. So if you're an investor or an entrepreneur, there's a lot of money and opportunities are there. The Mac opportunity, which I'm talking about, not only just entrepreneurship opportunity, not an investment opportunity, it's a freelancer opportunity, that's a professional opportunity. You have 4 opportunities together. You own a company, you run a company, you become an employee of the company, and you work with a smart contract and getting paid as a salary also every month. So this is what exactly we are talking about. So there are so many things about blockchain before we go to the business ideas. There are a lot of Hyperledger, multi-chain. So this is an Ethereum blockchain, and many things are there. I would like you to go and understand this aspect about it. Another application. Now we'll come to the part is basically which I wish to discuss with many other people asking which coin we are going to mine apart from Beltrees, apart from Beltrium and Monero and a few other things which I mentioned yesterday. So today we are going to discuss about another major application which all of us is going to use, and we will be continuously mining, and it's a huge market. Which is the market which I would like to discuss with you. Like today, when we say third party disappear, one of the best third parties going to disappear is Visa, Mastercard, or American Express. We don't want them anymore. When you look at their business model today, if you sip a coffee in a coffee shop, if you buy a cloth, you buy a grocery, you buy a medicine, somebody somewhere in Wall Street sitting there and he making a 0.5% of your grocery purchase. So that's a system today. With the moment you use a debit card or a credit card or a gift card, you use it. Whether you use a Mastercard or a Visa or American Express or a RuPay, that's a system, right? That's the system we are into. So when you look at this market, so how this market started, like an acquirer, there's an entity called acquirer. There are Visa, Mastercard, American Express. They enroll members. We as a member, we go with them. They also tied up the merchants. So now they did an arrangement with the merchant. They say, we will send your customers to you, and you pay us the profit percentage. So the transaction fee across the globe approximately a 2.5 to 5%. In some cases, a 0.5 to point, depends on the country and competition and the market. So it's maybe around 1%. The lowest I know is a 0.7%. And some companies do around 0.75, 1%. But average, when you look at it, especially online, it's always a 3 to 6% part. Offline, of course, around 2% also we can take, depends on the country you're from. Now to the members, the acquirers started telling, hey, you will give you a credit card where you go and purchase, you don't pay now, pay me after 30 days after your salary. So 40 days cycle they give to us to buy the products. Now, as a credit card holder, I go to a merchant and buy something. The credit card, the merchant will pay 2.5 to 5% to the Visa and Mastercard. So to expand this business, they came out with something called issuer. That's a bank started issuing. Like today, you have Mastercard or a Visa card, which is issued by maybe some bank or maybe some airline, right? So or maybe some Amazon has a card. So any of the companies or the majorly banks issue. So you say you have Visa and Mastercard, but basically issued by maybe HDFC Bank or HSBC Bank or a State Bank of India or a Ahli Bank or a commercial bank or maybe Standard Chartered or a Citibank or maybe Bank of America. Some banks issue that. So bank basically before the bank realizes this opportunity, the acquirers actually went and this is basically a banking product. So they went and enrolled members. How they enrolled? They did not actually enroll. The moment we open a bank account, they'll give us a credit card or will they enroll credit card. So they enroll members, they enroll merchants as well. Then this 2.5% to 5% they started sharing. That's a business model there. So this is the biggest drawback of this is as a credit traps. So that's the reason they came out something called a debit card. So same technology they started using, same system they started using. But the issue they come, a lot of technological issues, a lot of manipulation, a lot of people losing money. And they have to come out with a better technology. They come out with something called Europay, Master and Visa technology with a smart card, with an NFC card, but still the credit issues happen. Right. But the plus point was interoperability. You have a card issued in for a bank in Africa. You go to US, you want to use it in New York, in a Bank of America's merchant, you can use because you have Visa there or a MasterCard is there. So interoperability. You have a money in the bank account in Philippines, and you want to withdraw the money in Bangladesh, you can withdraw when you went for traveling there. Go to any of the ATM and you can withdraw. So this is another advantage is debit card we have. So these projects, when you look at it, how it's going to be on a blockchain. So these are one of the things which we are going to do. The two reasons. One is actually when you look at it is I would like you to go and download the loyalty applications on from a blockchain. You can see so many loyalty applications are on a blockchain. Okay, a lot of white papers are there. I would like you to download and understand the power of that. So it's a loyalty program and a merchant's credit card and debit card. So which is we are going to act as an acquirer there. So that's one of the things, through a consortium we are going to do. So consortium of a company. Now, what we do, one of the applications, like what the Visa MasterCard did it. They did with a banking. Initially, they started, I don't know how many we used. I personally used before the credit card machine, with your swiping machine, how they are using. Can you imagine? People don't believe it. When I talked to my friend, he could not believe that when it was a manual machine. You put in the machine, you swipe it, and you get paid for it. And physically they send a list of the people the card has a validity, and the person comes, they verify it manually. There is no server connection. Then it came in a credit card, debit card machines. Then it became more popular, but they were running a credit card, debit card business without even technology. We thought it's an online connection. Then they later internet connected. They adopted. Initially, they went ahead. Now the blockchain gives an immense opportunity for us. You and I can become an acquirer. That's one of the major projects we'll be doing. The second reason, I think some of you know this, is I introduced the first loyalty reward program on EMV compliance in India, and I also expanded to Europe and Singapore and Hong Kong and Sri Lanka and different countries. So I have a domain expert in this one, and have a team who have a domain expert in this one. So we thought of converting this to a blockchain technology. So that's one other reason. So this is a project we'll be doing through these affiliate web mining consortium. So we'll make a consortium of the companies. And as I mentioned, it's a different 3 countries we register, and different companies bring them on board and make it a global operation. Yesterday, so many people asked me what the reason for a UK. So we have not just one day morning started on a UK, because a lot of studies went through, especially the regulatory aspects. That's the most important part if we are planning to grow. And so that's one of the reasons which we had chosen in the UK. And second one is, of course, as is a global appealing part, and of course the process part of even the taxes are high. There are so many advantages. That's the reason raised it that one. And as you know, we are operate from Qatar, so we admin and operation aspect, we are registering the QSC here. So that's an admin, and of course, technological aspect, the cheap and best, especially in the blockchain part. It's come from India, and so technical support and all that application development, app development, backend support, and it's come from India. So 3 different countries we register this one and run over this one. In addition to that, other application we are going to do, all of you know, we have online shopping mall, where we are talking about the largest platform, which is catered to 7,000 people, and is going to provide it across the globe, and every niche is owned by a different people. So how are you going to deal with these transactions and operations? It's not easy when you look into. So that's exactly the reason we use the blockchain technology there to deal with the 1.5 million transactions, around 7,000 independent niches, and every store is owned by 1 to 15 people as a SOHO. And all of you know that through collective bargaining, and we do this one. And if the logistic arrangement is done by the company, and there is a customer support is on a niche store also provided to the people, and high-level branding part, etc. So now media spend, all the things include a lot of transaction and the financial investment, and the transparency is one of the things everybody wanted to see, the company side, the other owner side, because together we're running a shopping mall aspects, right? So this entities, when you look at it, is like every visitor who comes in, he should be rewarded. Not only there's a very important point which I mentioned, it's a very powerful loyalty reward program to not only acquiring a customers, retaining a customer is important. At the same time, increasing the basket size of a consumer is also important. I think in the digital marketing time and the website e-commerce marketing time, we discussed about something called ARPU, average revenue per user, is to be increased to have the valuation of the company. Now, every customer is tracked with the artificial intelligence, the customer become a loyal customer. So these loyalty customers, this loyalty program will be run on the blockchain and on a crypto program. So even the affiliate marketing, the transaction will be done this way. So this is exactly 3 consortium we're trying to make it on it. So that's exactly mining and affiliating community, the opportunity which we extended, which I asked you yesterday. How about if you would like to be part of this project? If you would like to, if you start believing the blockchain is going to revolutionize the world, if you believe it is putting in the kind of an effort and time and energy and finance, something to this one, there's an open invitation to everyone to associate with us. And not we are talking about something which you struggle and to make a startup. It's simple, easy. Wherever you want, you don't have to be physically available. Into some cases, of course, yes. Sometimes, not always. You don't have to do it. So basically, you owning, you be part of a next generation money making businesses together. We all of us together run as a company. That's an offer which we extended yesterday. So this a lot many things to discuss about it, but my objective today to understand my invitation, not the proposal. To understand the invitation, spend another 2 hours on this aspect. You would like to be partner with this company. So where different categories of engagement you can have. There are different levels. You can be a co-founder, you can be a promoter, you can be empowering co-founder, you can be senior level manager, you can be vice president. So different position you can have. And you also get a lot of professional benefit, like for example, as an equity holder, a net profit gainer, or you can also seed investor, and of course a salaried person. And you can also get a good position, and maybe this is a business to be done at global level. If you would like to travel and expand your businesses, that is a part of the company. You will get the benefits or the perks to do that one. So all the at a glance, when you look at it, is at a time you get a lot many facilities. You become a company's holder. You also get a profit. You also your stake is considered as a seed investment, and you also get a salaries, and you also get good positions, and the benefits of, like an example of a global travel, etc. So this is the things which is actually in a way we would like to extend. So why I'm looking for, as everybody has a law. When I prioritize my time, I'm doing my maximum time of spending time, which I don't have. So I'm looking to grab this opportunity, adding to the good number of people and running together. And this is, implementing these ideas. Actually, it's been a fantastic thing. And opportunity implement and your own strategy, you can go and implement. And you can be even a part of the co-founder for this one. And you can actually, if you're passionate about these technologies, it's very important. You need to believe in this. Now, so if, for example, I used to say, if you don't believe in the online is going to grow, you cannot do online business. If you don't believe in e-commerce, you cannot do it. It's like if you believe in a blockchain, it's a fantastic opportunity for you. And it's in a completely operation aspect you can do. And you need to take a lot many decisions. So decision-making part is the most thing, because major your job is basically taking a decisions part. And of course, we need to inspire the new team members, new projects, and new clients, and across the globe. The government will be our first clients. The corporate houses will be our clients. The retail outlet will be our clients. Educational institutions will be our clients. We need to show them how we work. When we go and talk to a university about KYC, about your certificate you're issuing at Qatar University, can you issue your certificate on a blockchain? The first question, can you show me how you issue a certificate, how you do a KYC verification? So we also should show how we work, and that exactly we do it. So of course, honesty and dedication is one of the major things you can do. And as I mentioned, the responsibilities here. That's one of the drawback of the most of the time that people come together and work. This is usually become a challenge, right? So it's a responsibilities become. And basically, you manage and support the clients. That's one of the responsibilities will be in the clients is across the globe, which you asked me, that's one of the questions, who will be the client? Yesterday, many people asked me about the MAC client. Of course, the first client. So according to me, we should focus on a lot of government projects. This is the time governments, various departments of the various governments is going to change or convert to digital and to blockchain. Of course, the bank, as I mentioned, is definitely our client, but that is already taken. We have a lot of competition. You go, but if you go to universities, healthcare, clinics, and if you go to an example of especially the healthcare segment, and small and medium companies like HR Solution goes to small and medium companies, and universities, education institutes, all this can be a client of us, and this can be completely online. It's a very comprehensive, bigger opportunity I'm explaining. I'm not sure how much you are getting it as. But if you're able to see this helicopter vision, the larger vision, the bigger picture, you will understand the power what I'm talking to you now. And this is the thing. And some cases, as you know, cannot be 100% virtual. So people would like to, hey, I would like to have your company to do our blockchain strategies. And believe me, you are going to listen to this word blockchain strategies. Every company is going to have a blockchain trust entity, whether a healthcare or automobile or a real estate or a retail outlet or a schools or a college, they will have a blockchain strategy. So we will be the company to provide the blockchain strategies along with the solutions. It's not only, that's exactly I said in the tech development in-house, having it more important. So we don't depend on a tech in outside. We make a maximum as a consortium of projects. We're not on an external outsourced project. It will be our own developed tap. Maybe a partnership and tie-up it can be, but it's not be external, because that's the way it should grow. So now as a company, when you're an HR person, you work in HR and handling the smart contract aspects on it. Your operation aspect, take your operations. And majority of the people will be, meeting clients, especially across the globe, whether a Zoom or a physical meeting. That's one of the requirement of different part of the world people will be having. That's an opportunity we'll be doing it. Basically, your promotion of the Mac operations. So the joining this organization, what's your responsibility? Operations. Your majorly operations to handle on. So some of you might have, for example, you are in financial, the daily accounting activities, and some of you join as a digital marketing aspect, you have online promotion part. Maybe sometime we might do some offline marketing, maybe seminars and workshops and advertisements, etc. we may do. And of course, we as an organization will have an employee management, HR people also takes care of that one. And obviously, to reach out to the world, we'll have a lot of webinars conducting, a lot of training conducting, and mentoring and consulting will be part of things. And of course, different products will have a different brand building to do. Basically, we become a kind of a fintech company, a financial technology providing company, like what we offer. We offer payment gateway solutions. We offer payment gateway solution like now we have, you have a QPay, you have a PayPal. So instead, we can have a blockchain-based payment gateway. So that's so people are going to shift that. You don't have a transaction and instantly it's up. You don't want a Visa and MasterCard, instantly you can do. That's one of the solutions people wanted. Payment solutions like, as I mentioned, mobile applications or cryptocurrencies, and maybe credit, can be a loyalty program and vouchers and coupons on a blockchain base. Then digital assets, maybe your website, et cetera, can be there. And of course, the blockchain and mining, a complete solution giving it to be part of. Okay, and can be a crypto trading, because people wanted to exchange, but that should not be a core area. As I mentioned, it is a different skill is required. And maybe you'll be part of the company, you will be also organizing events and functions. There is a workshop on blockchain and artificial intelligence. So, like for example, today, maybe last 20 years and the last 10 years, especially, I spend my major life talking to the people on a digital marketing or e-commerce solutions, on web solutions and digital entrepreneurship. But it's now going to change. This decade will be definitely about blockchain and artificial intelligence, virtual reality, Internet of Things, and all the things we'll be talking about. So this will be through the large events and expos and summit and boot camps and MICE program we'll be doing it as. So in a way, nutshell, you have a various position to have promoters and co-founders and vice president, CEO, but lot many, like Apple Corporation, how do we do? Same way, we'll have a different HR system. In a way, I don't know how many of you noticed, we already have an AWMC system in place. We already start putting it in a kind of a consultant, trainer, event manager as an organization structure actually, and which will be connected to a managerial level, senior level, a middle level, managerial level, then vice president level, assistant vice president level. And like we can actually connect that way, we already made the foundation system here. So you can, so the moment you join this company, you can be a serial investor, equity holder, different kind of thing can be. And so it's an amazing opportunity when you look at it, just do this one. Okay. Now, so you also get a lot of salary plus facility, etc., etc. You also get additional training to perform this company you can do. And you also have exit options in the different model. The different exit option you can also have it on it. So you'll have a board. You also part of the board of directors. You become a chief CEOs, etc. So another thing. So what I'm saying this is an amazing opportunity. I would like you to think about it. You get an invitation from us if you wish to have a meeting for coming week itself. This meeting will be scheduled. So if you feel it is something it will interest you, it's important to you, definitely you will be part of this one. Okay. And how do you be part of this one? So many opportunities are there. One is you being an investor, you can do. And you be a part of with a laptop, you can actually part of as a miner, you can have a member, You can actually buy a number of bells and become a voting right. AWMC, different things you can have. So different kinds of an assignment and rules will be there, documentation process, business planning process, etc. And there's a different kinds of a team, like a finance team, HR team, marketing team, events team, CRM team, and various kinds of examples. I kept it there. Okay, so this is what exactly is a major portion of this one. Now, this my invitation, our offer, to be part of this as a part of the company. You're owning the stake of the company. You become you're owning this company, and together we are running this one. Now, if you are not interested in that, the best and the least you should be looking at the affiliate web mining, which I discussed yesterday. Again, everybody told me that I was so fast. I'll go deliberately slow today. Please don't worry. So what are the components we wanted to be part of a mining? Of course, the blockchain, and you need to have a smart contract. Many people ask you, when can I get a contract? It's a smart contract. You will be signing up with a smart contract. And you'll have it in a cryptocurrency, because you get a different crypto you're mining. And to have that, you need to have mining contracts. In the mining contracts, you'll have various mining activities. Then you get a mining rewards. Of course, there's an affiliate program, which is more number of miners come through an affiliate program, and you'll have multiple affiliate income as well. So you basically get a dual income, as we discussed yesterday, which is basically Bitcoin, how they made it. They had a different kind of a mining method. Now, here we have a cloud mining and web mining and few other models as well. Not only one mining, like a Mac has a cloud mining, we are also promoting as a web mining. So that's what exactly we do. So now when you look at, many people ask me how it is worked on. I'll show you. I've taken as a last report. We had in a report in the March month. I just kept in copy. Many people can show me the result of it. So when you look at it, when you look at the business model, now the consortium what we done, now it is basically the idea which I shared you in the very beginning itself. So you're mining of doing it. So what basically mining? So as I mentioned to you, it's you're validating a transaction with a proof of work, proof of stake, which is actually yesterday again and again I repeated and repeated, saying that is when you go online you find a POW. I'm not talking about a POW. Don't come back to me tomorrow. I'm seeing about a POW like this. We are not doing a POW. Once again, I underline, we are not doing a POW. We are doing proof of stake. So you need to search on a proof of stake mining. Proof of stake mining underlined as an Ethereum blockchain network. We are working on it. Okay, now why we don't? This also I mentioned to you yesterday. When you go today with a POW, point number one, you don't make profit. You need to have, unless you have a very high indexed hardware, then you make money. Otherwise, you not even your power supply you cannot pay. So that's the thing about the proof of work. So please do not look into. As I told you, there are many other reasons as well. One of the reasons is not environment friendly. So when you look at the POW, is not an exciting at all. So please do not get fascinated. According to me, POW really don't make money now, because of that opportunity got over. Okay, now what is the opportunity? We have a proof of stake opportunity. So that's the opportunity which we discussed yesterday. So please don't go back and come back to me again saying it is no. Here is we are talking about mining difficulties and all the things, 2014, how the BTC is done, etc. Now that is not the thing which you are discussing. This is not the thing you look at. We are talking about a pool mining. In the mining together, we come together on hiring a cloud system and doing the pool mining. Okay, so that's what exactly. If you ask me, the pool mining others are doing, yes. When you look at it is in the Bitcoin, there are so many companies. People are doing as a pool mining. So these people, you will not be able to individually go and fight with them now, because they already taken out the market, and they have a large. You can go on YouTube, type mining farms. Even you type on a Genesis mining farm, you can see in Iceland, in Greenland, all these places, they kept it a large number of cloud system or a server to do this kind of thing, which is very, very expensive, and we cannot go and do that level. So we are talking about, that's the reason, do an POS. So can I mine? So when you say now mining contract is, you can see, I told you an example, but when you go on the mining contract, the purpose I shown you the mining contract yesterday to make you understand it's so common. I didn't say you buy from eBay. I said it is available there, because it's almost everyone is selling as a POW, where you will have a difficulty. If it is If it is available for $14, you can see some of them $5. Why should I tell you? Why should you come back to us? And so with us is a minimum of $399 or $99. Why should you buy from me $99? Here you can see that at $5 they're giving around $1,000 plus. So why should you pay $500 for it? Because it's a POW, you don't make money. That exactly the reason to say you need to come to the POS, and POS we have an opportunity for you to do even with your existing laptop or a personal computers, and you can do this one. So you can see many companies, when you returns actually crypto, when you look at even you are buying any laptop and doing it, that investment is worth it. Okay, so this is what exactly is to do. So this actually, as I said, the pool report, when you really look at now April 2000 onwards, it was last year till we did it is, we had taken an average price of sometime it was a 4.7, $4.5, sometime it jumped to went to 7.5 as well. So you can see when we invested, and the pool report is actually when we did in the last meeting. Now at the MAC meeting before the COVID-19, this is what exactly we achieved on it. In fact, 29th February, we had a celebration on a number of coins we mined. I think some of you might have already attended. Those who are not attended, you can see the videos. We already put that celebration there, done it. So this is a example of a cloud mining. So there is exactly around $2,000 approximately we can make it, and we withdraw 10% of that is on a daily basis, and 10% is the 5% sent to the individual account, 5% is spent on a company's operation expenditure, which is actually we are looking when you join with the company. What do you do? I mentioned here, my I've seen it is when we did not have the money to start this fund, our company itself is a supporter with around $350,000. So because these $2,000 we are making, this $350,000 invested by the Belfreaks, and they also taking that share. So that money is already be generating last more than a year now. So we are looking for the moment you join. So instead of Belfreaks is making, you make that money. So that simple as it. It is not I'm talking about we start something new, then we make a money feature. No, we are already making a $2,000 per day. But the $2,000 when we are making, because initial investment was of $500,000, we did not have a 500,000. We 20 people pooled and started. So we did not invest 5,000. So everybody thought we'll try. So with a small amount, with a minimum of a voting right, we'll start with $121 bells. So 121 bells we started buying it is, then started. So this time when we do this one, what is happening is in the $2,000, because the companies invested at $250,000, they take the major share. So when we thought it's the same model, we are already generating on a daily basis $2,000, instead of company sharing around 70% of that money. So if you take a 5% of that, we'll give you that 5%. So and plus you work for the company and do some operation aspect, do some marketing activity, do HR activity, and you also withdraw the salary. There is another 5% is the company, right? So when you take it as this one, I have that 5% also will increase. So this is exactly the part we are talking about. So I'm not asking like an online shopping mall. We are not yet started. Online shopping mall yet to start, right? But here we are talking about something we are already working on it. So this is the invitation I got, and you can see the kinds of a withdrawal we can do in 2023. It's a huge. So you can see the majority of the pool members basically top up the money which they withdraw. They don't even withdraw as a cash. Very few occasions, very few weeks. Initially, people withdrawn, but everybody top it again and again. So the people who had money, they're doing nothing. Actually, when you're asking the existing members, basically doing nothing. Once in a while, we used to have a meeting. I think now Corona, we never had a meeting in the last 6 months, maybe one Zoom call, maybe in 4 months. So that's it. You don't do consult or a train or a mentoring or a marketing, nothing, because the Amazon cloud work. You have a cloud system where the mining automatically happens. So this what is exactly the opportunity we are talking about. And now at the moment when you look at it, see, we have around 20 members who formed this company, and we own around 71,000 worth. The bell is approximately worth around $500,000, and it was a price approximately of $5. So we did not have that money, as I mentioned. It is a Belfreak sponsored, and they taking the debt. So this, We are looking for around 364,000 of bells by 2023, and the money which you can see, that kind of money will come out. So that's what exactly we are expecting to happen. So when I made it a $5 as expectation, and the projection was there with the company, even $200, the $5 become like in a Bitcoin example, you see $1 become $10,000. And Belfix has given a projection of a $200, which I personally believe can be 20 even before the COVID app was introduced. COVID app, the Belfix when introduced, that is people definitely are forced to take it. The market share through a 500 clinics, millions. Why this in Indian market is highlighting? There's over 1 billion people. As you know, the worst situation, one of the worst country, today affected COVID, like a US and Brazil. The market is huge. Okay, I'm not looking at the business point of view. I'm trying under you can see the vaccination happen. So huge number of people are going to get vaccinated. Even if it is a person doing a 1 or a 2 bell, it's a 2 billion bell, right? If it is a market share, that's the market value we're talking about. And the price definitely go up. And even you take it at 20, with the $5, you can see the prices here, and you can see if it's a $20, what will be the price. Now, when you look at the projection, it is there, but I keep telling him, even to our meeting, I say, I look for approximately the $6 to become a $20 by 2023 when we mine the coin. Another thing is, the kinds of work and effort we do for OSM and the ADM Access. If you ask me this money to make a $2,000 a day, I'm doing always nothing. So 1, 2, 3 employees is working on this, and one person will send a statement to everyone on a communication purpose, because we are not put on a smart contract yet. We thought of let it work on. Now is the time we make it everything online, people log in and understand, and so that's the system we are going to make now. So that's the time we are in expansion, making it everything properly done. So this till now we are working on something called a SAFE, simple agreement on future equities. That's what exactly we work on, and you also get on it. The advantage of the SAFE agreement is simple agreement on future equities. When you look at it, is when I told this people, everyone, this is many of the people first time I heard about SAFE. When you look at it, because the advantage of the SAFE is today even the business, because of the corona, because of the COVID-19, because of the pandemic, it's affected the market. SAFE will make a real SAFE for the people. As the name indicates, the future. Their project equities actually, I think the SAFE part and delivering convertible notes and all we discussed in the part of investment and funding. So I would like to recommend you to go and understand the convertible notes and on the SAFE, all the things in the part of the investment and funding session, which we have done in July month. Okay, now, so we are looking for our company to be valued in a much level. And actually, we had a value at 1.4 even before the COVID-19. Actually, I'm revaluing now. It's making it approximately 2 million will be the valuation. That's the valuation we are looking for within our time. So now if you join, you have a double of the valuations coming on it. So now different kinds of price valuation, price variation will be there. And depends upon the people who invest, you get a different calculation on this one. Okay, so I believe you've got a somewhat idea. So the complete information, if you want to be part of the MAC as a founding member, or if you want to be joined as an employee with a stakeholder, you want to be part of a miner, there is a separate meeting we'll be organizing, and we call us after 100 days. We have a special meetings and the training programs, which I personally recommend all of you to attend. I think you will get an invitation from me only for this purpose to discuss in detail and with the numbers, and we'll send you a proposal based on that meeting, based on your willingness. We will give you a proposal where you can join at the earliest. It's very early. I'm really hurrying up. I was waiting for this to get over the 100 days. So 31st is when Saturdays get over. The first focus is to make this company to work, and that is already $2,000 is generating without effort and time, because of the cloud is doing and the mining is happening. So that's the first thing we do, and a part of that one. Okay, so with this actually I'll end this program today, and thank you so much all of you. I know that you have a lot of questions. I'll take the entire questions in the in the mastermind session. So I'll join you in 5 minutes in the mastermind. I request all of you also join there and do that one. Okay, so thank you so much again, and I request all of you to come on a Saturday, our last day, 100 days, and there is an amazing day which we are going to talk about. 2 major portions, like how you make $100 per day, become a champion. There is a project called Consulting with Accountability that also we are going to discuss on a Saturday one. And you have a lot of live offers, so please make sure that I know some of you watch basically recording, but many of the offers on a Saturday, every 30 minutes you have a special offer to be joined in the championship, to experience something in the project which you are talking about, either for experiencing something or to participate in the championship. You have different will be there. Okay, so thank you so much once again, all of you, and I'll join you in the mastermind now, a few minutes from now. Then we'll discuss the more about it, and I'll also try to answer any other question in that. Okay, thanks a lot, man. Thank you.